think, or we are?
You can't hear you. Oh, this is my ears.
All right. All right, I think we're ready. Is everybody ready? Yes. All right. I'd like to call to order the January 20, it's been a long morning. What's today's date? January 20, I can't say it. This is not good for the whole meeting. You get my point. So we'll call to order the meeting. Note the presence of my two colleagues. And I'd like Ricky Treat to lead us in the pledge, not to put you on the spot.
Oh, God. The flag in here?
Yep,
Okay, there we go. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great, thank you. All right, just a quick legal update before we begin. On January 13th, 2026, the Board of Commissioners held an executive session for the purpose of consulting with our county solicitor regarding a potential lawsuit concerning a contract dispute and potential affirmative litigation initiated on behalf of the county. So just wanted to say that publicly. This past Monday, we all know it was Martin Luther King Day. I hope you all took the opportunity to give back to your communities. My family and I visited Christ Lutheran Church in Orland for their Kids Do Service event. So you'll see my little guy, Max, there. We made cards for kids in the hospital, and he helped roll up socks with snacks inside for the unhoused. And I was very grateful to hear that he is learning about MLK in school. Although he got the story mixed up, he said that MLK separated Black and white people. So we're working on that for next year. But no, he's only 5 years old. And then a little later, we stopped by Salem Baptist Church in Abington. Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority hosted their annual day of service there. I had the opportunity to speak with so many community members who were gathered to reflect on Dr. King's legacy by helping our friends and neighbors. So we compiled food donation bags for families, feminine hygiene bags for women in need. So I hope everyone did their part and had a day of service on Monday. Last week, Commissioner DeBello and I we kicked off the celebrations for America 250 right here in Monco. The state's America 250 PA committee is organizing kickoff events in all 67 counties. Monco hosted our event last Friday at Washington Memorial Chapel in Valley Forge Park, and this is just the first of many events happening this year. Our very own America 250 Commission, led by former Commissioner Ken Lawrence, has been working hard to coordinate A250 celebrations all throughout Monco. And we want to invite anyone who has a planned event for this year to let us know. You can visit montgomerycountypa.gov/America250 and submit your planned events. Last week, I also had the pleasure of attending the Pennsylvania Farm Show in Harrisburg for the first time. Has anybody been to the farm show by show of hands? Okay. All right. So this is always an amazing show, so I hear, and I found out last week when I went. But the cool thing is that this year's centerpiece was a butter sculpture created by two artists from Conshohocken, Jim Victor and Marie Pelton. It's called A Toast of Our Nation's 250th Anniversary, inspired by founders, grown by farmers. So that's Max and my bonus daughter Miley in front of the butter sculpture. I think this picture sums up the show quite well. I think my favorite part of the show was sitting in, I don't know for those that have been to the show, there's a area with about 80 baby goats. Has anybody done that? So it's a goat petting exhibit, and so we got to pet some baby goats while we were there.
What happens to all that butter?
I don't. Yeah, that's a good question. That's a good question. Well, we'll have to ask. All right, so next week we'll be celebrating another major milestone. The Share Food program will be opening a new food storage warehouse in Lansdale. Many of you know that as a board, we have been very focused and proactive about supporting food insecurity in Monco. We've seen a dramatic increase in demand for the county's food pantry network over the last few years, unfortunately. The Share Food program alone has seen an increase in demand for their services by 120% since 2022. This new warehouse facility in Lansdale will be an essential part of making sure our friends and neighbors can put food on their table. The county invested $4 million in this project via our pandemic recovery funds in 2022, and I'm looking forward to finally seeing this project become a reality next week. So congratulations to the entire Share Food team for getting to this milestone, and for those that want to celebrate with us, you can join us on January 29th. So I want to take a moment to recognize the work of another outstanding member of our Montgomery County community in the food security space. I'd like to ask Marcia. Where is Marcia? To stand up. Well, I'm glad we could pull it off today. So I'm going to ask you to keep standing while I go through this. But Marcia is the executive director of the Family Promise Monco, one of the county's strongest partners in preventing hunger. For over 12 years as executive director, Marcia has ensured the dignity of healthy food for counties throughout Montgomery County, for countless Monco families. She takes a direct, hands-on approach to make this happen. Her impact is felt far and wide. Under her leadership, Family Promise Monco has been a leader among Family Promise organizations around the country. On top of the support of those experiencing food insecurity, the organization has also expanded its commitment to housing and reducing homelessness. So much work at our county level, whether it's with transitional housing or food insecurity, would simply not be possible without you, Marcia, and we are lucky to have you. I'm told that your favorite saying is, this work is about helping those who have too much on their minds and not enough food on their dinner plates. It's really that simple. So I want to commend Marcia for her leadership, compassion, and dedication to public service. I'm so glad they got you here today. And I want to give a special thanks to our former county controller, Karen Sanchez, who helped get Marcia here today and played a role in making this happen. So before I invite Representative Sanchez up, I'm going to allow my colleagues to share any thoughts.
Well, I'll just say, Marcia, I mean, you've done an extraordinary job in the community, and many people who don't know about Family Promise, I think, it started with the premise that we have faith communities, congregations, and churches that are very active on Sunday, but for the rest of the week, what are we doing to serve? And Family Promise has housed families, helped people get back on their feet, out of homelessness, fed those who are hungry, and had community support in order to do that in a really successful and extraordinary way here in Montgomery County. It's actually the organization I start with when I came back home after law school, and it continues to inspire people in our community. So thank you, Marcia, for leading and really inspiring so much of the other work that we're seeing happen around the county, too.
I just want to thank you as well. I think Commissioner Weiner summed a lot of it up, and as you've heard us talk a lot over the last 2 years as far as we've been dedicated to many different things throughout Montgomery County, but one of our top priorities, one of our #1 items on the list was, food pantries and the homelessness and all those things associated with that, mental health and all that. And we've been working extremely hard over those 2 years, and it's people like you that help us make these programs and make everything that we're trying to do be successful as well. So I want to thank you for everything that you're doing, and the people around you. Obviously, you can see how much you're beloved and loved with your the people that came here today as well. So again, thank you for everything, and keep up the amazing work.
Great. So before. Representative Scott, come on up. Yeah, that's fine. If you could go right to the podium so we can see you on camera and, okay, and then, yeah, so we can see you on, because I know you want to present. Yep, there you go.
Oh,
Perfect.
I get it behind the podium. Yeah. Well, thank you, commissioners, for honoring this moment and this great person, Marcia Eichelberger. And Marcia, I had a front row seat to see you over the years, the few years I've been involved with Family Promise, prior to that Interfaith Housing Alliance, and you've grown the organization from, and I'll just touch on the food security realm, from a closet at one of our partner churches to a gigantic, full-scale, operational, with Amazon-style food lockers now, full choice, fresh food, all the perfect foods that people need to be healthy and have a balanced diet, food pantry on the Salem Baptist campus, and you've done it all along with growing the housing insecurity and the transitional family planning that works, that truly works, gets people back up on their feet, and you've done it all with love and dedication that is unparalleled. So on behalf of a grateful Commonwealth, Representative Greg Scott and I have a commendation from the Pennsylvania House of Representatives signed by the entire Montgomery County delegation who you serve in Family Promise, and we thank you for your undying and tireless work in this community. We love you.
I was bamboozled. Thank you.
And I just want to say one thing while we get, I know some people want to take pictures, but this is the antithesis of who Marcia is. She doesn't do it for the photo ops, right? And as a kid growing up in the streets of Norristown to a single family mom who often had to stand in food pantry lines, to be able to receive help and maintain your dignity in your time of need is incredibly important. And this is a heart posture that Marcia has, which is why her authenticity in this moment today that we live in such uncertain times, we need to figure out how do we double, how do we triple, how do we quadruple her heart posture and continue to uplift her work and to make sure we spotlight that. Thank you, Commissioner Winder, for your leadership, for allowing this moment. Because we truly appreciate you as a gym, not only in Montgomery County, but we got to model you throughout the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So we love you, we appreciate you, and this is just one token, a small token of our collective appreciation of who you are. And we thank God for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're gonna have you come up here and take.
They really did. I was coming for Karen to be second.
And you want to come on up. Karen, come on up.
All right, where are we looking?
I'm looking straight down the middle. Yeah.
All right, one right here, please. All right, 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
And we have one more.
Thank you. We have one more for you, one more surprise for you. No, go, you can, yeah, you can go, yeah. We got,
One more.
all right, one more, we have one more. Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry about that. I'm Liam Parker from Congresswoman Dean's office, and she is sorry that she wasn't able to be here today to present this, but she also would like to give you a citation for all your work, which we all appreciate. Just to read, whereas the United States House of Representatives is proud to honor those individuals who contribute to the betterment of our nation through their legacy of exceptional community service and dedication. And whereas Executive Director of Family Promise of Monco, Marshall Eichelberger, has worked tirelessly to provide critical resources and community care to Montgomery County families experiencing homelessness and food insecurity. Under her leadership, Family Promise has worked to ensure families have nutritious food, household supplies, and personal care items through the Family Promise Food Pantry program. And whereas Marcia's dedication to serving her community is further exemplified by the numerous transitional housing programs she leads for low-income families experiencing homelessness. Marcia's relentless advocacy reflects the selflessness and dedication with which she serves her community, and her vision has set a standard for excellence that guides other Family Promise chapters and nonprofits. Therefore, it is my honor and privilege to recognize and pay tribute to Marcia Eichelberger for an incredible career and continued service as Executive Director of Family Promise Monco, and extend the best wishes for her continued success. And I direct this copy of this citation, sponsored by the Honorable Madeline Dean, on January 22nd, 2026, to be delivered to Marcia.
Great, great. Thank you again for everybody that's here to support Marcia, and I know Family Promise will continue to do great work in Monco. Yeah, go. You want to say a few words? Go ahead. My assistant told me to let you have a few words. Sorry about that.
Privileged to be able to get this award, and really incredibly shocked that it had to be another woman that could surprise me. My husband maybe has tried a couple times with like birthday parties, but so thank you. I mean, the work we do is important. We appreciate all the support that we get from our community, the county, and it's a privilege to do the work that we do. So thank you.
Great. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. All right. A couple more things for me, and then I'll turn it over to my colleagues. I wanted to take a moment to recognize one more exceptional member of the Monco family. You may have seen that the Roman Catholic High School football team recently won its first ever PA state championship. Now, Roman Catholic may be in Philly, but the head coach, the team's head coach, Rick Preet, is a longtime Monco resident. Rick took over as Roman Catholic's head coach in 2019, and he quickly built the team into a contender. This is the second year in a row that Roman Catholic has made its way to the state championship game, and this is the first year they won. And with great pride, I'm happy to say that Monco's own Rick Preet was named the Pennsylvania Coach of the Year in the 5A class. So let's give Rick a round of applause. Our team here knows that Rick's greatest award is his wife, Gabby, who is an integral part of our Montgomery County communications team. Over the past year and a half, Gabby, Rick, and the entire Preet family have demonstrated incredible strength and resilience in the face of the unimaginable loss of their daughter, Ariana. I know you miss her every day, and we also know that she's incredibly proud of you. So Rick, I want to invite you up here today, first for your perseverance and all the leadership that you have demonstrated as a coach, as a father, as a husband, as a veteran, and as a member of this great community. You are so deserving of this recognition. So I'm going to invite Rick and Gab up for a photo.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, right here, please. All right, 1, 2, 3.
Then hold it, then look at me. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, one more thing, and I promise I'm finished. All right, so the week of January 25th to the 31st is Medico-Legal Death Investigation Professionals Week. And so I just wanted to take a moment to honor the professionals working in our coroner's office. These are our coroners, medical examiners, investigators, forensic pathologists. These professionals perform work that is often unseen, but is essential to public health and safety, uncovering the truth behind deaths and providing answers to grieving families. So we're going to present this to the coroner's office. The coroner's not here, but just wanted to. Oh my God, sitting in the back, hiding from me. You're usually right here. Come on up to. I have my team here. Yeah. Oh, great. I didn't even. Sorry about that. This is a great team. Do you want to say a few words about this week and the importance of the work that the team does?
Just quickly, I won't take up much time, but I really, really, truly appreciate this recognition because, like you said, you don't see the work that we're doing. Most of the people don't see the work that we're doing. We are called last responders. We pick up where the sirens end. And so I love this recognition for my team because they haven't really been recognized. And I'm working on a few things so that other people understand what we do and that we're doing very essential and vital work for our community and further and beyond. So thank you so much for this recognition. Next week is Medical Legal Death Investigator Professional Week, which is just a week that's recognized by the organization of medical death investigators. So we're trying to make this a state recognition because first responders have that, but this is a start, so thank you.
Great. Well, thank you. Thank you to you and thank you to the team. We've spent a lot of time at the coroner's office, and I recognize, coming out of COVID, you all were not really recognized for the lift that you and the burden that you carried in the work, especially during COVID and even post-COVID. I recognize that deaths have increased year on year, and so the workload has increased significantly. So this is just a small token of appreciation and thanks. And I'm sorry, maybe I need glasses, but I did not see you sitting back there.
It's all good.
But glad you're here. So if you want to come up for a picture, and
We appreciate that.
yeah, you're welcome. Get in the middle.
All right. Right here. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'll turn it over to my colleague, Commissioner Makija.
I only have a few awards to give, so hold on. It's just the way to go winners. I'll be quick. First, let me just say earlier this month we hosted our first ever municipal elected officials orientation forum. You can see the selfie up here. We had 200 people in the room at the community college. It was a really fantastic event, and it's really the result of the last election, right? We had the highest turnout ever, 50%. A lot of new people in office. They're excited, they're inspired, they want to find the best ways they can make an impact on their community. And we at the county were able to share a number of resources. Our department head spoke about housing and homelessness, public safety and emergency response, economic development, and different grant and funding opportunities. And you could just feel it, that people were getting a lot of great ideas for how to improve their localities, township supervisors, borough council members, school board members. These are people who understand their communities the best, and we're proud to work alongside all of them. And I think it's really great that we did this as a start. There could be more topics and conversations, including on specific issues related to zoning or housing. I know our sustainability, Chief Sustainability Officer Baby's working on a forum on data centers and how municipalities can think about zoning around those issues. So it was just a really great event. I don't know if my colleagues want to say anything about it.
No, I thought it was a really great event. Thank you for the idea. To host a convening and giving elected officials the opportunity to learn about how they can partner with the county, what resources they can avail themselves to. You know, I thought it was a really great day, and we've heard nothing but positive feedback. So I'm glad we could come together to do it.
Yeah, I echo that. And it was a good day. And, you know, as Commissioner Weiner and I mentioned in the past, we started, you know, as local elected officials, either as supervisors or school board, and wish something like that would have occurred when we came on.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because when you get into this local, lots of times we get elected into positions, it's almost like you get a kid and drinking out of a fire hose. But locally, when you become a township supervisor or school board member, it is drinking out of a fire hose, because you get sworn in early part of either December, January, and the action starts immediately. So it was great that we provided that kind of service to township supervisors and let them know all the different things and acts. Thank you. Let them know all the different acts that what the county has to provide, and be there as support as well. So it was a really good event for a Saturday.
Absolutely. Saturday, early morning.
Early morning Saturday.
So I'll also just follow up on the Share Food Warehouse. As Commissioner Winder mentioned, we're very excited about this. This is one of the biggest investments from our ARPA funds. I think it was close to $7 million. 3 out of CARES Act. 4 out of ARPA, so $7 million in total. And what this warehouse is going to do is provide massive increase in the capacity to store food that we then distribute to food pantries across the region. So it's not even just Monco. And many of you may know we have 70 food pantries and nonprofits in Montgomery County, including Family Promise, that you heard about today, that make sure that no one is going hungry in our community, or at least making every best effort to ensure that. And you all know when the SNAP benefits cut off in last, I guess basically during the government shutdown in the fall, all three of us as a board supported providing $500,000 in emergency funding that went straight to local food pantries in the form of direct food aid. And we saw an increase in a number of philanthropic efforts to support this. So this warehouse is going to make it more possible for whether it's companies, organizations, individuals who want to contribute, donate food, it's for us to be able to have the capacity to hold that and distribute it. So very excited about that. Yesterday we sat down, all three of us sat down with a number of labor leaders from across the region and Montgomery County, and we introduced our new labor liaison, Ross Dispenza. This is a really important role because we're at a moment where there's a changing economy, and the kinds of jobs that we thought were safe and secure are no longer, and the kinds of jobs that we want to guide our residents to, our kids to, are there are a great number of vacancies and demand for certain things, including skilled trade. So Many of you know that with AI shaping work in real time, there are hundreds of thousands of vacancies actually in skilled trades: plumbers, electricians, HVAC technicians, steam fitters, and they're in need in this community, but around the country. So we talked to the trades in part about how we build the pre-apprenticeship programs that we've seen in Bucks County, Community College, how we could do that in Montgomery County, how we can protect workers across the board using tools in the county, whether it's through the DA's office, as other DAs have done in enforcing worker protections, and across the board just showing our support for organized labor, which is really a pillar that has built the middle class. So that was a really great meeting. I don't know if there's a slide for that, but I'll just follow up on MLK Day as well. We had activities happening across the county in every municipality. Really thankful for everyone who showed up and committed during the day of service. I've been to Salem before. They do an excellent job, as Commissioner Winder noted, engaging the community and showing people ways to give back. I also attended the Barristers Association of Philadelphia for the annual breakfast, and there was many inspiring conversations about how we maintain our commitment to civil rights at a time when it feels like they're being eroded. Finally, I want to acknowledge some of the staff members who are doing an extraordinary job in Monco, day in, day out. Some of them are here today. I'll start with Sean Lee. These are our Way to Go winners, where we highlight people here in Monco that are being noticed by their peers. So Sean is a supportive, charismatic, dedicated employee who is passionate about his work. He's helped shepherd one of our biggest priorities, which is our transitional housing program, from architectural plans to reality. He's a coordinator of public property management and assets and infrastructure. Sean, do you want to stand up? Stand up. Thank you, Sean. Keep standing up. I'm going to tell everybody who's here to stand up. Next is Jordan Chirega, correct? Yes. I received many emails from Jordan, but I had never pronounced her name out loud until now in public. But she deserves it because she's incredibly hardworking. Everybody knows Jordan goes consistently above and beyond. She works in our commissioner's office, the executive operations. She helps teams coordinate across departments, gets everybody the briefings for many of the occasions and events and meetings that we have, and is able to work through all those moving parts in a way that makes everybody feel like they're getting what they need out of a very chaotic process at times. So please stand up, Jordan. Thank you for all of your work. And then finally, who's here, Sean D. Smith, a custodian in public property. Sean has been an exemplary employee since 2015. We're at the 10-year mark. Past that now, she's been a role model in dedication and care to our facilities. And behind the scenes, your work has not been unnoticed because many people supported you, nominated for this. So thank you, Sean. And anyway, thank you all for being here. In the room. No one else is in the room, right? I could mention the others. I'll just mention some of the others who are not here because they continue to do their hard work. But Troy Bridges, a custodial services manager at public property. Troy went above and beyond. He helped an employee whose paychecks were lost by the USPS. He personally helped them open an account and direct deposit and receive their pay on time. Rosemary Griffin, who's an intake caseworker in Office of Children and Youth in our HHS department. She's someone who has great work ethic and positivity and has taken on a number of responsibilities to support the department. Then there's Monica House, who's a grants administrator with our Southeast PA Regional Task Force in public safety. Monica's dedication, attention to detail, and proactive approach have really contributed to the success of the task force at a critical time. She takes ownership and shows responsibility in everything she does. Rosalie Moody, who's a custodian in public property, has worked for the county since 2000. And for the past 25 years, she's gone above and beyond, showing her dedication to making sure that we have a healthy and safe environment. Finally, Marissa Sefarati, who's in juvenile probation. She has an ability to remain calm under pressure, maintaining professionalism, which has made her an incredible asset to the department. Marissa approaches every challenge with a problem-solving mindset and goes an extra mile to ensure everyone feels supported. So please, round of applause for all of our Way to Go winners. Some of who are watching online, and please come on up, everyone who's here. And we'll take a photo.
All right, one right here, please. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
All right, wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3. Perfect.
Oh, sorry. Okay, that's it for me.
Well, I think my colleagues covered a lot this morning of different things going on throughout Montgomery County and all the recognition, which is all well-deserved. So I'm just going to do a brief, real quick. I did want to point out that this month is School Board Appreciation Month. Commissioner Weiner and myself, as I said earlier, we were on school boards at the same time at one point, different school boards, but at the same time. That's actually where I met Commissioner Weiner for the first time. And, you know, school board, being a school board member, it is probably one of the hardest, I believe, elected positions that you could have, because it's a very thankless job. The school districts have thousands of students with, you know, thousands of parents, and no matter what you do, you're always making somebody unhappy. And you know, and most of the time, all you hear is criticisms. So it's great that January is School Board Appreciation Month. We have 22 school districts in Montgomery County, which that means we have 198 school board directors throughout Montgomery County. And they work very hard for all our students, our young generation, day in and day out. And there's no pay, there's no stipends or anything like that. It is truly 100% really volunteering job. And it really is tough. It is thankless, but we always want to make sure that we share our appreciation to all our school directors out there, because, like I said, it is extremely hard, but we do appreciate everything that they do. And I know that looking back at my 12 years as a school board director, I was proud to be able to list out a lot of the accomplishments, but I'll tell you, there was days that, especially living through COVID, there was days that you're just, you know, banging your head against the wall, like, oh my, I can't believe I'm doing this. But I want to do a big shout out to all our school board directors across Montgomery County. And I think I'm just going to end there because I'm stuffy and everything today.
Stay over.
I'm over here, don't worry. It's not contagious. It's just
All right. Thank you.
I caught something from Lee, I think.
Thank you. All right, so we'll try to move the agenda along. I know that was a little long in terms of our commissioner comments. So is Phoebe here? Hi, Phoebe, how are you? Come on up and talk to us about Meals on Wheels.
Thank you. Good morning, commissioners, distinguished guests, fellow community members. I am Phoebe Kancianik. I'm here on behalf of Family Services of Montgomery County, and I'm here to talk about our senior programs and the need for volunteers. Before I start, thank you for mentioning the school board month. I'm a school board member in Pottstown.
Oh, okay.
So I was like, oh boy. All right, so Meals on Wheels and Project Hearth are our two senior programs. You can go to the next slide. Meals on Wheels provides nutritious meals to homebound seniors, regular wellness checks, and we're more than just a meal. That's the motto, right? We check on them. We make sure they have human connection. Sometimes our volunteers are the only people they see every day. We help reduce loneliness. We ensure their safety. And our volunteers report back to us. So if they see something, sometimes they find people on the ground. Sometimes they find people in unsafe housing. So they report back to us. You can go to the next slide. Project Hearth is a sister program for Meals on Wheels. So our volunteers would come back to us and say, someone they can't pick up their prescriptions. They need a ride to their doctors. So Project Hearth does those things. They do friendly visiting. They do phone reassurance, just calling. We have volunteers that call other volunteers to check in on them, and they really love that program. They also provide limited transportation. So like I said, grocery stores, medical appointments. They help the seniors stay connected, independent, and engaged. And for this program, we really need drivers. Same thing for Meals on Wheels, but for this one, the key part is the grocery store and doctor's appointments piece. They just need drivers for that. As you know, Montgomery County has a transportation difficulty, so that's where we're trying to help that group. You can go to the next slide. So every March, we do March for Meals, and that's where we invite distinguished people in the community to come and volunteer with us and deliver meals. Last March, we had the honor of Commissioner McKeegan coming and delivering meals with us. He was paired with our longest serving volunteer. Her name is Jean Spots. She's volunteered for 54 years with Meals on Wheels. Don't worry, we don't expect that from all of our volunteers, but we'll take it, of course. And that shows the powerful impact of just one volunteer. We will invite you guys again this year, so look forward to that. And I think you can go to the next slide, and I think that's it. Yeah, under 5 minutes.
Thank you for that. And thank you for your service to the school board and service to family services. And thanks for all the work that you're doing to support our seniors. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Do you have any questions? Or
I'll just add one thing, which Jean was amazing to spend a day with, right? I asked her how she got started, and she said a friend had roped her in and said, hey, you want to help me on Saturday with, Meals on Wheels? And she said, then I've been doing it for the next 54 years. So be wary of when your friends ask you to help out in community service projects. But I think what was really special, too, is a lot of the people that you're serving, you're the point of contact that they see, right, the whole week. And it's really special to be able to even spend time and talk to all of the residents you're serving because, they appreciate that. So thanks for everything you did.
you're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yep.
Next up, Jesse King's going to give us a Justice Center update.
Morning, Commissioners. Thank you for giving me the opportunity today. It's been a little while since we did one of these Justice Center updates. A lot's gone on, and the goal of today is to talk a little bit about where we are and where we're going on Phase 2 of the project, as well as give a glimpse into the scope and the timeline for Phase 3, which is, as you know, the renovation of the historic courthouse, and then finally talk a little bit about financial performance, not only on Phase 2, but the overall project from inception to the completion. So next slide, please. Our topics for today, again, we're going to talk about construction status for Phase 2. We could go completed. I did want to talk a bit about the green roof. We have a good slide, a picture of the rendering plus what's happened at this point. I think it's noteworthy that this is one of the first, I believe it's the first green roof in Montgomery County facility. So there's a number of reasons for that. One, it's environmentally impactful. It provides an added level of insulation. We built the green roof to the specification that leads us to a gold LEED certification, so that was important for the entire project. And of note, all the roofs in the new building have the capacity to be green roof. So if we make that decision, or this board finds that important down the road, you know, and it's within budget, we can make that move to make the entire building a green roof. So that's something to look forward to.
Do you want to just take 30 seconds and explain what a green roof is?
A green roof is essentially what it sounds like. It is a organic roof. It's dirt, and we chose robust plantings that can survive a harsh environment because of the heat and other factors that are on a roof. It also utilizes runoff water, so it's pretty much fully sustainable on its own. There's minimal maintenance. It provides an insulation R value as well that's beyond what a regular roof would be. So it's really a win in all respects to move towards a green roof, and that's why LEED's asked for it in their certification for gold certification.
And how long does it last? Does it, I mean, just in perpetuity, like, you know?
I'm sure there's maintenance associated
Okay.
with it, with
Okay.
turning over the soil. I'm not a
Okay.
green expert on that, but we
Just
did
curious.
choose the plantings to be minimal maintenance. So that was
Okay.
important to us.
Okay.
So we weren't stressing our internal public property team to take care of that.
Got it.
Also wanted to just touch base on the two entrances. They're coming along. It is important for us to have appropriate access to the building for our employees, but also the public. The main entrance on Main Street is directly across the street from our county-owned Main Street Garage. My anticipation would be that many of the employees that are working in that building will move from the Main Street Garage directly into the building, so they can just cross Main Street right into the building. Our other employees that park on Cherry Street that either work in this building or just parking on Cherry Street that work in the new Justice Center can utilize the Sweet Street entrance, which is directly up from Penn Street. I can skip these things, talking about lighting. Remaining work. We're looking to finalize controls and systems within the building. We're looking to finalize training for our major departments that are in there. We're working currently with the Sheriff's Department to get them ready, because their operation is probably the most impactful on, I'll give it a second here. All right, we can, next slide. Next slide.
It's off again. Okay, there we go.
Cafe is coming along. We are close to contract. We've selected a vendor for the cafe, but we're close to contracting with that vendor. This is a really exciting thing for the employees of Montgomery County. I mean, it gives them a welcoming, bright, large space that is going to have, honestly, I was part of the testing process, some great food that's going to be available for our employees to get away from their office, not necessarily leave the complex, and meet and enjoy a meal at the cafe. Next slide, please. We can skip this. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide. I wanted to note the lighting. A lot of time went into picking the lighting, that it is, one, sustainable. They're all LEDs, high efficiency. Just walking through the building, it's kind of a high point looking at all the different things that they picked, and it really adds to the feel of the building and, you know, the function. So, next slide. Remaining work, finish the green roof installation, terrazzo wall panels in some of the areas, security controls. We have commissioning and training as well as installation of FF&E. Obviously that lags because you don't want to bring the furniture in before the building's done, because
Can you
we're
just make sure to not use acronyms? What does FF&E, what does that?
furniture, fixtures, and
Okay.
equipment.
Yeah, just for.
Oh, no, understood.
Yep, and O&M?
That is operations and maintenance.
Commissioner DeBello could do this presentation. So just for those that don't do this.
Understood. I'll
Yep,
note it
okay.
for future
Thank you.
presentations.
That's okay.
Next slide. Our updated timeline, again, this is anticipated. The reason I use that word is because it's a moving target. I mean, there are As everyone in this room knows, there is a massive snowstorm on the horizon. That could cut a couple days out of our schedule if the town gets shut down because of the snowstorm. There's supply chain issues, but this, based on our scheduling work that we have done, is our best guess as to when the building will be finished and then operational. As you can see there, substantial completion means when it is move-in ready, which would be third quarter of 2026. That's when a lot of the work on this end begins, where we start to transition our departments from their existing buildings into the new facility, and then the building becoming operational at the early fourth quarter of 2026. Next slide. Financial performance for phase 2. Now, when I'm talking about this is just the awarded 8 prime contracts for the construction of the building across the street. They were approximately $233 million. We've had approved change orders before this board for $5.8 million. There are a number of pending small change orders. At this point, it's not to the level of $100,000. We do not anticipate any impactful change orders between now and the end of the project. Those represent approximately 2.5% of the original contract value, which is well within a reasonable standard. Next slide, please. Transitioning to phase 3. In an earlier presentation, we talked about the guiding principles that we developed with the architectural team and the stakeholders of this project. Those principles being timeless, flexible, open, modern, contextual, and sustainable. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'd like to hit on 2 of those that I find really important for the phase 3 project. Timeless. It's a historic building. The main goal with the renovation of the historic courthouse is to keep it at a historic courthouse, to maintain the beauty, the charm, the importance of the historic elements of that facility. We want to keep it timeless. We also want it to be sustainable. We have noted prior that the new facility, being the new construction of the Justice Center South, plus the renovation of the historic courthouse, is anticipated to use 50% of the energy that is used currently at the historic courthouse. So that, again, is a tremendous win in terms of energy consumption for this project. Just getting into what is actually happening, again, I mentioned the MEP systems. They're not improved necessarily. They will be run from the new building into the historic courthouse. So they were spec'd to be able to run the HVAC systems from one building into the historic courthouse. Preservations of the historic courtrooms, restoration of reconditioning of the millwork and the plaster, renovation of the copper roof, which I'll touch on a bit later, replacement of windows and restoration of the existing facade, improved safety and security, and restoration of the historic murals. Next slide. What does that mean? It means we're going to renovate and modernize the entire building. We are also securing and consolidating judicial chambers. This is an important run. As it stands today, we have judicial chambers in 2 buildings on, I want to say, 5 different floors. That is not efficient. That is not necessarily, it's safe, but it's not necessarily the best use of our resources to keep people safe. The new layout will have all of the chambers consolidated with secure hallways to keep our judges and their staff secure and safe. Reorganization of departmental space to maximize operational efficiency. That basically means we're giving people the right amount of room for the operation that they're doing. You know, there are some departments that may have had too much, there's some that had too little. We did a program to make sure that the right amount of space is being utilized for each of those departments in the new facility, and that they are in the right place to maximize their operation. So if they're a public-facing department, we want to make sure that it's easy and accessible for the public to reach those departments to get the services that they need. Next slide, please. Very quickly, annex by floor. As you know, the historic courthouse is split into 2 sections. The annex was built a little later. It's on, from this vantage point, the far side of the historic courthouse. The bottom floor will be court reporters and the office of the sheriff. Women's advocacy, prothonotary, and court administration just above that, followed by court care, jury commissioning, and registered wills. The existing historic courtrooms, B and C, will remain the same on level 5, and then we have judicial chambers consolidated on levels 5, 6, and 8. Next slide. The historic courthouse is only 3 floors. We have magisterial district court administration on the bottom floor with public defender. It is noteworthy that the public defender is not in the new complex. They will be relocated to this building, but we found it important that they have a workspace in that building so that our judges can call them back to a courtroom, or they can do the work that they need to do in close proximity while they are on trial or in a court proceeding. And then existing historic courtrooms A, D, E, and F will be on level 4. Next slide. Current project schedule, this is the entire project. Again, as mentioned before, we'd like to go operational with the new building in the fourth quarter of this year, 2026. The historic renovation cannot begin until after that happens because we need to, move everybody around and empty out the historic courthouse before that renovation begins. We would anticipate that the fourth quarter of 26 or the first quarter of 2027. And then project completion, the big ribbon cutting, will happen in the fourth quarter of 2028. Next slide. Comprehensive project projections and estimates. I use the word comprehensive here, and it's important because when we talk about the estimates for the entire project, it is not only about the new construction that you see across the street, it includes all of the following. Those estimates that were developed back in 2018 included phase 1 demolition, phase 2 construction of the new building, phase 3 rehabilitation of the historic courthouse, and then soft costs, which are owner's costs, which are associated with all phases of the project. Those include, but are certainly not limited to, professional services, land use, permitting, FF furniture, fixtures, equipment, legal costs. I mean, anything that falls outside of the bucket of actual construction costs is encompassed in those soft costs, and they are built into the estimates that we are going to provide you. Next slide, please. We do have some cost pressure points. And I've listed this in 3 different classes, there have been modifications to project scope. When I say modifications, these are owner-initiated modifications. The big driver on these are 2 things. The first was years ago, I want to say it was 2021 or 2022, we made the decision to change the design to move the Office of Domestic Relations outside of the building and move the District Attorney's Office into the building. That required a new design, it required different construction costs, it created a cost pressure, in so many words. What needs to be noted is that modification, not impacting this budget, is that it saves the county money because we do not need to find a home for the District Attorney's Office either in this building or another building around this campus. So that move enabled us to take that project off the books of finding a new home for the District Attorney's Office. Another modification that is noteworthy for the cost pressures here was the addition of replacing the roof in phase 3 of the historic courthouse. We did know that the roof needed some work when the original estimate was made. It deteriorated at a faster rate than we anticipated, and because the project timeline was altered, we were in a situation where it makes more financial sense and efficiency to do that project in time with the rest of phase 2. So it just, financially, it's a no-brainer that you would add that to the scope of the project at this point. Associated soft costs. With each of those, with escalation of construction costs from 2018 to 2026. This is a big driver of cost pressures. Of course, at the initiation of the estimate back in 2018 or 2020, we anticipated escalation. Our construction management company used a industry standard rates based on what they've seen before and what they anticipated at approximately 3% a year in escalation to come up with what the total project cost would be. I don't think I need to go into all the reasons that those numbers changed. I mean, there were changes in market, there was the epidemic that we dealt through. In 2021 alone, we saw escalation at approximately, I want to say it was approximately 19% in 2021. So, I mean, you're right there is a lion's share of an unanticipated increase in escalation that is driving those costs. And then associated soft costs, everything that I talked about before, professional services, legal fees, what have you, architectural fees, those are directly impacted when you change modification of the scope or escalation in other costs associated with the project. Next slide. This brings us to the current financial outlook. I put in there as reflected in the 2026 approved capital plan. The remainder of the job each year is our team does diligent work to determine, this is dating back to the initiation of the project. Each year, if there are changes to the project budget based on those cost pressures that I talked about, our project team enters them into the capital project and then it is approved. So these numbers are reflected in the capital plan moving forward. But again, the comprehensive estimate, including all of the things from the beginning of the project to completion, now sits at just over $480 million. That is with a 100% contingency spend. That would be, I don't want to say worst case scenario, but that's if you use up all your contingency. If things unfold where we don't need to use the contingency, we would be down near the 25%, $472 million number. Happy to take any questions. I thank you for your time. I tried to be brief, but there was a lot here. So.
No, I mean, it's a big project, and I think the public deserves to know where we're at. What I would say is we are going to do this on a quarterly basis at minimum. Because there should be consistency in how we talk about the project publicly. And what I would say is we'll probably never do a project this size, I guess, maybe in our lifetime, and we weren't here when the project came to fruition. But I want to, I know it's been difficult, right? Dave, I want to thank you and Jesse and the whole team. I know it has had a number of challenges. I know we'll have a beautiful county campus as a result of it. The only thing I would just say publicly is, we have a real opportunity as we think about the other capital projects that we have coming online to really just do a deep dive. Yes, there were things that were out of our control, right? Like inflation, cost of goods and all that good stuff, cost of services, but there are also things that were in our control. So let's take just time to have a moment of reflection just as we enter into some of these other projects and think about, how would we have done things differently? What would that look like? And how could we apply that either to phase 3 or to the other projects that we will have coming online soon. So, so that's my comment.
Couple things. One, what do we think? Where are we landing on the contingency spend right now? I mean, do we have a projection?
Well, that projection that was supplied on the last slide was developed in 2 months ago. So that is telling us that we have a remaining contingency of approximately $3 million for phase 2, $5 million for phase 3, and whatever the remainder is, $2.5 million for the budget. So it's unknown. I mean, the starting point is we have allocated those funds just in case, and they are available to us at this point.
Well, yeah, I understand that, but what are we projecting the spend is going to be on the contingency funds as of now? Do we think we're going to be at 25% spend? Do we think we're going to be at 75% spend?
I think by nature of the unknown, we haven't even bid or advertised the project at this point, so we don't know.
Phase 3, but yeah. Total. Because you showed total numbers at $480 million, and then you broke down at 75%, contingency spend, 50% contingency spend. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's a total project contingency spend in what you're showing there. So I'm just, as we know, so phase 1's done. We kind of have an idea where we're at in phase 2. Mm-hmm. So I'm just wondering, if you want to go back and look at it, that's fine.
We can. My understanding is that there's $3 million left in contingency for phase 2. If the question is, do we know how much of that $3 million we anticipate to spend between now and the end of the project in quarter 4, I would say that is unknown at this point. Okay. I would anticipate not much of it, but that is one of the 3 factors that are influencing that last slide when you say 25%. So you you could use up that whole 3 million on phase 2, not touch the contingency on phase 3,
Right.
and fall somewhere in between,
Right.
right? So
Okay.
when the dust settles, we get a little further down the road, and I would say after we receive the bids for phase 3, we will be able to do this again and have a much more clear picture of where we're going to land financially.
Yeah, I think as we are finishing phase 2, and we're going into phase 3, we could start to talk a little bit more around that contingency spend and what we're predicting and what we see happening. Since you already have phase 1 and 2 is kind of,
Yep.
through, so we can kind of track and monitor that way. I'm glad that you put up the total spend on all 3 phases together. So part of my goal today was to I want to get the actual numbers out.
Right.
Because, we hear a lot of different, numbers as far as what people think is being spent. And as us, as 3 new commissioners coming in, we inherited this project.
Understood.
And I never go back to previous boards and say what they should have done or shouldn't have done, but we are trying to do everything we can to working with, the team to do what, to get this project done, and try to stay as close to the projected budget as possible, moving forward. So it's a tough position for us to be in because we can't just stop it.
Right.
We can't just come here one day and vote and say, what, we're done. We're not going to, continue to borrow the way the county's been borrowing money each year as the project is moving forward. And we can't just stop.
I absolutely appreciate that sentiment, and I can tell you that every opportunity that we have, and it's mainly with the owner's budget because we have more control over that, it's not one contract.
Right.
We have made gains and done things that have saved us money. So our FF&E contract came in well below
Right.
what was in that budget, and it wasn't simply because it came in low, it came in high, but this team did the work, and it was with Lee's assistance, the whole team got together and we beat up that contract to bring it down by over $500,000, and that's just one example.
Right.
So I absolutely insensitive to that comment, and I would want you to know that our team is doing the best we can to,
Right.
every time we make a decision like this, is this an opportunity for us to bring that line down?
Yeah, and we appreciate that, because I know that I hear a lot, out, in the community about the Justice Center and, and I'm like, you have to understand that we are where we are, and now our mission is to get it done.
Yep.
As quickly as possible and, as close to budget as possible. Can't go back and undo or redo or whatever, so I appreciate, I had the opportunity, I just was in this week to tour again, to get, an updated tour of the facility, and, the progress is getting there, so really excited to see over the next couple months, especially as we go into the summer, see how things go. I know we have this big blizzard coming Sunday and Monday, so hopefully that doesn't slow us down too much after.
That's the other part of my job I'm dealing with right now.
Right.
That's true.
Now, so we're not putting grass on that green roof, so we don't have to go up and mow it?
No, there's very little maintenance from
Well,
my
very
understanding.
It is a grass, but it doesn't grow like regular grass grows.
Oh, I gotta get some of that in my yard.
Yeah, seriously.
You don't have to mow it. I mean, there's a lot of things I'd like to say right now, but because of the project itself and what we may be involved in the future, I don't want to make more comment. And I'm saying that for the public's perspective, to understand that, this is a very critical time, and we have to be careful in what we as commissioners say publicly, related to this project. So I just want to, again, point out that the 3 of us are working very hard to do everything possible to work with the team to get this thing done, and as be as efficient as possible moving forward.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
I still think we should move the 9/11 memorial back here. Just throwing it out there.
I'll save my comments for just our individual conversation, but if you don't mind sending me this deck, that would be helpful.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you all.
Next up, Scott France, Erie Street Prison.
Good morning, Commissioners, and thanks for having us. In a moment, Patty Guttenplan, our Deputy Director, will join me up here. And we will be brief. This is a good segue, though. We're going to jump across the street, across Erie Street, to the famous prison at Erie and DeKalb, and the county's surface parking lot, which forms the tract of the area we're talking about. We're here today for several purposes. We do have an action item with a resolution that we'll take care of later and explain in a moment. That's toward a brownfield cleanup grant through the EPA. So we have the prospects of gaining $4 million of federal money to do cleanup work, which obviously on a prison built in 1851, I believe, asbestos, lead, all that stuff, is really crucial and helpful to have that accessible. And so we're seeking a resolution to support that effort. But we're also going to take a moment, because we haven't had the chance to talk about this project and where it stands right now, to give an update. And we'll be very brief in that. But as you know, the RFEI, Request for Expression of Interest process, was initiated last year and is still underway. It's taking quite a time, but with a project of this complexity and all the issues associated with it, it's kind of necessitates that diligence and time frame included. I just want to finally reiterate in the update summary that no construction is imminent on this project. We're still through the decision-making process, still talking to the final applicant teams and determining where we go, but we're going to give you a basic overview of where that stands today. And I finally want to acknowledge Patty's work on this since the RFEI began. She's really led this project and all of its various facets, but also in conjunction with our great team at Assets and Infrastructure and the county administration team. So I'll hand it over to Patty.
Thanks. Good morning. As Scott mentioned, we just want to give you that brief update, and I know we're thinking about time. So I'm going to jump right into the reason what we're talking about this brownfield. No surprise, the prison's a brownfield. It's supposed to be because of asbestos and lead paint. And we are going for that fiscal year 2026 U.S. Environmental Protection Agency, so EPA, brownfield cleanup grant in the amount of $4 million. Under number 3, those are some of the needs for this. It's a very complicated process, but we already have a phase 1 environmental audit assessment done. We're working on the phase 2, and we're using Montrose Environmental as a consultant on that. They're also preparing that application to the EPA for us. We have partners in the RDA. They're helping to they're spending some of their revolving loan money to help with the testing we needed to do at the prison for the phase 2 environmental assessment. We also have PADEP, Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. They've given us a support letter as part of this. There's a public hearing that was advertised on January 8th. That is this evening at 5 o'clock here in 1 Montgomery Plaza in Suite 202, the Montgomery Room, where we often meet. That is just for presenting the options for cleanup. It's not to talk again about what uses the public might like to see there. Not that that's not important, but we've had those conversations. But this is a requirement of this application. We have to show that we provided to the public what our cleanup options were. That was also posted on Engage Banco, and we have gotten some comments. But we have to have a public hearing, a public meeting, and that's this evening. And then that commitment for resolution. So again, the resolution that's going to be before you in a little bit is not exact. It doesn't have to be done, but it's really, really helpful. We're going for a $4 million grant. It's going to be very competitive, and it helps them know that there's a commitment at the county level to do something at this property. So the key takeaways is that it's a $4 million grant with no match. So last year that's happening. It's a really critical year to try to get that grant. The county owns the property, so we will keep ownership of it throughout the cleanup process and perhaps parts of it beyond. The grant funds also can cover other expenses. So as we go forward over the next 4 years doing that cleanup and other things, it can help with any further studies we need to do. It can help with our management cost of the grant. We can actually get equipment if we want security out there and want to add that, or a drone to take pictures. So, and all of that went into the draft budget that actually you can see on Engage Banco. And when it comes down to the cleanup, just has to be done. We can't, Even if we were to do nothing there, at some point, you have to clean up the property. So next slide. This again, these are the 8 goals we had when we started the RFEI project, so I'm moving on to that part of the update. I'm not going to go through those, but they've really remained the same. Next slide, please. We did send out an RFEI probably about a year ago. We got submissions. We had interviews just about a month and a half ago, 2 months ago at this point. And the applicant teams that are being considered. We've had those interviews, and we want to go forward with some extra information. They submitted concepts, but ultimately the total development, what's happening there, still has to be determined. The targeted uses that we're looking there is residential with an inclusionary element, retail on the ground floor, a public amenity space that'd be an outdoor plaza area, structured parking, of course, prison preservation, and then the county elements. And that has been changed over the past few months, but we're talking with assets and infrastructure and their team on what exactly they would like to see in that 40,000 square feet there. And then the other things we're talking about with these development teams is that ownership structure and financing. The ownership structure is something we've been talking with the solicitor's office about, and the financing, Commerce Department has been very helpful in giving us input on that. Next slide. So our next steps is that resolution later at this meeting. The public meeting tonight, again, is just to discuss the cleanup options for the prison property. And then we'll be submitting that application. It's due next week, next Wednesday. We intend to do it the day before so that there aren't any computer issues with that. And then we'll be issuing the final RFEI supplement to the development team. And I can take any questions right now.
Any comments or questions? No?
Great,
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the update. Great. Next up is our first public comment section. Public comment is on today's pending votes. Limit to 3 minutes. Anyone signed up for public comment?
Yes, David Morgan.
Good morning, Commissioners. David Morgan from Ambler. I'm glad about the Justice Center, all the voting about that coming up for cost is on a quarterly basis for updates. That's a really good step. Transparency for our taxpayers. I hear thinking of all the taxpayers. And if the conventional 415 million figure, which is in the newspapers in the past, they have articles, is now exceeded up to 472 to 480 million, then somehow 57 million to 65 million has to be found so that we have hopefully no tax increases. And so I did make an error. I have to apologize. I made an error when I said in the fall that Bucks County had 0% tax increase. It's Chester County had 0% tax increase. Bucks County was 8. Their goal was to be 0. So hopefully our goal is to be 0% tax increases.
Mr. Morgan, is this a matter on the coming before the board today? There's general public comment regarding that.
Exhibit A, 1, Phase 3 Justice Center. I just talked about Justice Center. That's germane. And then we have Exhibit B, number 4, is the lease in Norristown for court space. And I was wondering, with all the court space available in all these facilities, if we have to start going on board in the fourth quarter, that maybe we can avoid spending a lot on leases. And then we have financial advisor cost, number 6, Exhibit B. What does it cost? So it's a blank check. Maybe we have to find out what the cost would be. Then we have 11 and 12 and 13, lots of costs for voter services. And that's when we have you could use our fax money for that. Then we have, I see on the horizontal pages, I numbered them because there's no numbers on them. I have page 4, $2 million to Microsoft Enterprise. And do we have to just automatically approve that, or is there something that can be done to reduce that cost? We have page 9 and 11, though, positives of teen mothers getting help. It's the down the column a bit, the 2nd and 5th place in those pages. You'll find teen mothers getting help, and that's really great to have that encouraged. And on number 26, is there an error that says Delaware County? The very last item, and the whole agenda write-up has Delaware County. So I think maybe you're tying in with Delaware County. So then I'm glad that we had a bipartisan effort for the tax increase discussions. And yet I noticed that we didn't have a bipartisan effort in the appointments in January 5th meeting. So Mr. DeBello did ask last year to be chairman, and it was declined. So I'd like to see that be reinvestigated. And you have the power of 3 commissioners to decide when we can have a refreshing change. Not that anyone here is not speaking well or not interested in the county, but I'm seeing a switch back to what we had before the first year. So we've had second year change, and the third year we have back to the first year with no representation from Mr. Bell as chair.
Thank you for your comment.
Next up, Joe Rooney.
I just want to make one quick comment. Mr. Morgan went through a bunch of stuff. I just want to hit 2 items real quick. The Delaware County thing is part of the task force, so that's a normal. It's because there's multiple counties that are part of that regional task force, and the money comes from the federal government and all that. So that's why we have to approve those things at our meetings as well. And it might have made a lot of good points, but I will hit the Microsoft thing. I was actually going to say something when we got to that part of the agenda, so I'll say it now. Actually, our team working through Microsoft agreements with resellers, and make sure I have this correct, but I think we saved already like $600,000 in renegotiation. So that number would have been higher than what we're approving today. So thank you for pointing that out, but we did make a significant reduction in those spendings. So thank you.
Okay.
So, put this on it. Sorry about
Joe
that.
Rooney.
Good morning.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Joe Rooney. I live in Abington. First, I haven't been here, so Happy New Year. I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas, and best of luck with the reorganization. I hope it goes well for our county. First, I'd like to start off, you made some recognitions. Since the election, I've been doing a lot of traveling, but I just wanted to recognize Leanne Ciarek. She's in Voter Services. And just real quickly, she is pleasant, prompt, and professional. And I've dealt with her on the phone, via email, and also in person. And I've had nothing but great results from
Hey,
her.
Mr. Rooney, just really quickly, is that on today's pending votes? I think that's nice that you're saying that about her, and we'll definitely, but that's not, that should be for the later public comment period.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We've heard a lot about the fraud in government programs in the news and everywhere. And I'm just trying to address that in our own county and make sure we're addressing it. When I see the cost of the project you just had, $480 million, and according to that man, it's up from $415 million. There's a lot of boring down we can do on that. So a couple little things. So the green roof, never heard of it before, although I know they put sod on log cabins and stuff like that. What are we going to do about ants and rodents that are going to live in it? What are we going to do? And my wife is a gardener at our church, and there's no green area that doesn't require a lot of work. And finally, what's the warranty on a green roof? I mean, somebody's building it. I don't know, is that going to last 40 years? And who's going to be repairing it?
Go ahead.
Just quick on that. Going through the programs right here. So first, in item number 3, contract award to the district attorney. It's $30,870 for cell phone software licenses for straw gun purchase investigations. That's pretty an esoteric thing. It would be great to understand what that is. Cell phone licensing, and I only have a certain amount of time. So number B, item 7, contract award for Health and Human Services, $300,000 for a youth leadership program out of Lewes, Delaware. It goes on and it says, to build skills through education, training, and development. Isn't that what our schools are doing already? And how about in Montgomery County? We already have DARE programs and PAL programs, and they're always hurting for funding. Rather than paying somebody in Lewes, Delaware for something that doesn't seem very understandable, we could support our DARE and PAL programs. And I don't understand. I know what Jewel is. I know the Jewel grant. How much is this for our county? And is it awarded to us and in some fund right now? Item C in number 9, the contract amendment planning commission, $35,503 for the Southern Trail Alignment Extension in Fort Washington for 1,000 linear feet of a trail. This is part of a $970,000, nearly $1 million project, and it's coming out of our pockets. So we're building a gravel trail, and we're increasing it by $40,000 almost. This sticks out at me, and I have Okay.
Finish your
Thank you,
comment.
Ms.
Go ahead.
Can I go
just
with two more things?
Wrap up your last comment.
Okay, the contract award is sheriff's vehicle, Coke 33 Ford of Easton, PA, for 150 grand. Isn't there somebody in Montgomery County that can sell us those vehicles so we can keep the money in our own county? And that's all. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Rooney. Anyone else? Okay. All right, next up, I'd like to invite, nope, I got to approve the minutes. I'd like to make a motion to approve the January 8th, 2026 minutes of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner DeBella. Any board comment? All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Next up, authorization of planning assistant contracts. Do we, yeah. Okay.
Thank you again. I will be as brief as possible. These are renewals, 5 renewals for community planning assistance contracts, which support planning as a consultant for these municipalities. And then we have 1 new community I'll save till the end. So the 5 that are being renewed, they all initiate January 1st of this year and continue through December 31st of 2028, which is the normal time frame. Abington Township is the first in their work. I do want to highlight the work we're doing for them, which includes continued updates to the zoning ordinance and reinitiating their comprehensive planning process. The Abington contract is $111,891, the municipal share being $55,945.50. Our second contract is for Salford Township, where we'll be advising the township's planning commission and continuing an audit of the township zoning ordinance. That contract is for $86,070 and the municipal share of $43,035. Again, this is over 3 years. The third community is Collegeville Borough. This includes completing the Borough Parks Plan and conceptual master plans and assisting with various ordinance updates. That contract is for $94,677 with a municipal share of $47,338.50. And our fourth community is Hatboro. In Hatboro, we're completing and adopting a full zoning rewrite and conducting a walk audit of the core commercial area. That contract is for $103,284 with a municipal share of $51,642. The final renewal is North Wales Borough. We've had a great run of success on projects there. We will be continuing to implement their comprehensive plan, which was adopted a couple years ago, and focus on borough parks, pedestrian and vehicular circulation, and Main Street revitalization. That contract is for $103,284 with a municipal share of $51,642. And then finally, the highlight, I think, we have a new community coming into the program, Plymouth Township. There's so much happening in Plymouth right now. We're really excited to be partnering with them and working on the issues that they're facing with them. A few of those, just to mention, start with preparing land use studies for transition areas, including the mall and redevelopment there, the office park just above the mall off Germantown Pike, and the industrial district, which has some significant issues with data centers that have been in the news lately. So we'll be working on those issues with them as well. We'll also be updating their comprehensive plan, providing ordinance writing support, and attending the planning commission meetings. That contract runs for $120,498 with municipal share of $60,249. And open for any questions.
Great. Any questions? I'll make a motion to approve authorization as described by Mr. France. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Makija. Any board comment? All in favor?
I was just saying, the only comment I want to make is I think we need to go back and look at this cost share between the county and the townships. We can't continue to absorb their fees, 50% of their fees. And when I looked at the Plymouth Township, it said the municipal cost is $120,000, but so never mind, I'm good with that. But I just think we need to go back and revisit the cost share that the county's absorbing.
Yeah, we're happy to engage on that and talk through that issue.
Yeah, and I've directed Lee to work with Scott to look at that cost sharing model. So, all right.
Thank you.
Moving to a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. Commitment of funds for the farmland preservation program. Ann, come on up.
Good morning.
This afternoon, I know.
I had to check. So this is something that I do each year. The county puts funds toward the farmland preservation work that we do. And this commitment of funds then leverages additional funds from the state that allow us to go forth and preserve properties. We just recently celebrated the preservation of the 200th farm that we've preserved under the county's farmland preservation program. And we make a difference to people. We help them preserve not just their land, but their family's legacy and promises that have been made to parents and offspring to continue these properties into the future. This year, the county is committing $1,092,438 of funds. This typically leverages close to $3 million in state funds. So I ask for you to certify these funds.
Great. I'd like to make a motion to approve the authorization as described by Ms. Levitt Berger. Sorry.
No, that was close enough.
Close enough, sorry. I should know that three years in. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Makija. Any board comment? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Next up, authorization of a sub-grantee agreements between the Redevelopment Authority and Montgomery County for 3 statewide local share account grants.
Thank you. So today we're requesting authorization to execute 3 sub-grantee agreements between Montgomery County and the Montgomery County Redevelopment Authority, known as the RDA. In 2022, the RDA submitted 3 statewide local share account grant applications for 3 separate MCPC projects on behalf of Montgomery County. The slide shows where those are and what those are. The RDA submitted these applications due to a tight timeline at the time between learning of the grant opportunity and the application deadline, which did not allow the opportunity for the Board of Commissioners to execute the official resolution form that was required for the application. So therefore, the RDA Board of Directors authorized the RDA to submit the applications on the county's behalf, which they often do also for municipal and nonprofit partners in various circumstances. The projects, they're up there, the amounts are up there, so I won't read through those. They are great projects. Following the grant awards, the RDA entered into separate contracts with the Commonwealth Financing Authority for each of the 3 grants, and to establish the terms for processing the grant funds, the RDA drafted 3 separate sub-grantee agreements between the RDA and the county, 1 for each project. Under these agreements, the RDA will submit payment requests to the Commonwealth Financing Authority as project costs are incurred by the county during construction, and once the RDA receives the requested grant funds, it will reimburse the county directly. It is noted that the county shall incur an RDA fee of 1% of each grant for a total of $25,000 based on the $2.5 million total grant amount, which is typical of their requirements and goes towards administration fees. That money does come out of the grant award itself, so it's not extra expense from the county. These sub-grantee agreements were reviewed and approved by the Solicitor's Office, and we have them before you now.
Great. I'd like to make a motion to approve the authorization as described by Mr. France. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Next up, authorization to submit a brownfields cleanup grant application. You already described it. Can I just move it to a vote? Great.
Absolutely.
I'd like to make a motion to approve authorization as described by Mr. and Mrs. It says. Mr. and Mrs. Plan. Ms. Mrs. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up, approval of the county seal.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am here before you today to propose a resolution to revise the county seal. The county seal was originally created in 1902, depicting agricultural and manufacturing as the predominant trade and commerce, among other design elements that you can see on the screen. On August 31st, 1934, the county adopted a garnet and gray as the official county colors, and the seal was updated in 1985 to incorporate the Dutch lily, the county flower, and then again in 1999 to recognize the contributions of both men and women towards the achievement of the county. Before the board today is a request to adopt the revised version of the seal, which updates the artwork by strengthening the line work, simplifying the extraneous details while retaining all of the original elements of the seal. The revised seal preserves the history and legacy of Montgomery County while modernizing its design for clarity, accessibility, and contemporary use. The seal will be accompanied by a new county brand logo for marketing purposes with the primary color palette of cobalt, marigold, and frost, and will be used in accordance with the county brand guidelines. So the seal will be used for official county business, including proclamations, letters of commendation, flags, letterhead, business cards, and other items.
Great. I'd like to make a motion to approve authorization as described by Ms. Alt. Not used to calling you Ms. Alt.
No.
Right. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. Just a comment, thank you to you and your team for really just thinking about our county brand, redesigning this seal. I think it will go along with a number of things that we're doing to improve kind of the design and delivery of how we communicate with residents. So I know it's been a labor of love and getting us to this point. So thank you. Any board comment?
I'll
Go
just
ahead.
say a quick question. The colors that are in the original, the current seal are going to transfer. I mean, you're going to use those same colors?
So no, the colors of the seal, it'll be a one-color seal, so we're going to no longer use the colors in the filled-in colors.
So it's just
It'll
going
be
to
a
be
one color.
white?
We'll have it available in black, white, and like a cobalt dark blue. Don't be too excited.
Huh?
So you don't
I
have
like
to-
the seal, but I think, I didn't know about
Have to
it.
change all your.
I ain't changing, no.
So I like, well, first of all, great job. I know this is a monumental thing. It's first update since when, 1902 or 1930?
1902 is when it was originally created. The last update was in 1999, so it's
Okay.
been 26 years.
Okay, I like that you preserved the original features. Wondering if we should change the steam engine to a SEPTA silver liner that's on fire, but we can make that amendment if you'd like. But, all right, I'll vote on this, it's fine.
As long as you design it.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll move on to a vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I guess aye.
Motion carries.
It'll be great.
Could I get a version with color?
Sure.
All right, thank you. Next up, Commissioners' reappointments to the Montgomery County Planning Commission. I'd like to make a motion to approve the board appointments as described in Resolution G-6. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Next up, Commissioner's appointment to the Montgomery County Transportation Authority. I'd like to make a motion to approve the board appointments as described in Resolution G-7. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Commissioners' appointments and reappointments to the Drug and Alcohol Planning Council. I'd like to make a motion to approve the board appointments as described in Resolution G-8. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Makija. Any board comment? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Next up, personnel.
Good morning, Commissioners. Well, yeah, good morning.
Still morning.
I'm going to give the final copy of the Commissioner Department's personnel list. It is a 3-page document dated January 21st, 2026, with a timestamp of 8:45 a.m. All positions have been reviewed and accounted for your consideration.
Great, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the January 22nd, why can't I say I'm having a rough time. Personnel presentation as given by Mr. Anthony Brew, Chief Human Resource Officer. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks. Next up, advertisement of bids and RFPs, Montgomery County Exhibit A. I'd like to make a motion to approve the advertisement of bids and RFPs for Montgomery County on attached Exhibit A. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? Moving to a vote. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries.
We, before you jump into B, Exhibit B, can I separate B11?
Sure. I'd like to make a motion to separate item 11 for awards of contract in Exhibit B of the agenda and to approve all other items on Exhibit B other than item 11. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? Moving to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Is there a motion to approve item 11 of Exhibit B? I can make that motion. I'll make a motion to approve item 11 of Exhibit B. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Makisha. Any board comment? Hearing none. Moving to a vote. I'll do a roll call vote. Commissioner Makisha?
Aye.
Commissioner DeBello?
No,
Commissioner Winder, aye. Motion carries.
thank you.
You're welcome. Next up, I'd like to, awards of contract Southeast PA Regional Task Force, dash Exhibit C. I'd like to make a motion to approve the contracts, awards, amendments, and renewals for Southeast PA Regional Task Force on attached Exhibit C. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye, you good? Motion carries. Next up, general public comment. Limit to 3 minutes. Must be germane to county business.
David Morgan.
David Morgan of Ambler. I noted that listening to the videos, audio of the videos, January 5th and 8th, the quality of the sound was not so strong, and maybe to look into enhancing that quality of transmission. And I noticed in the 1 hour and 59 minutes of a December 18th meeting, when it was announced for that January 5th meeting, it was called a time of it was a reorg meeting. Commissioner McKee announced that, reorg, and it was TBD for the time. So if it could be really an invitation for the public to be there for the reorganization meeting, clearly stated, and would say the time would help, because I would have liked to accommodate. So I think that the bipartisan nature of the goals that the commissioners seem to have could be maybe readdressed, as I mentioned earlier, that it'd be really clear the public could have word for the aspect of inclusion, bipartisan inclusion. Now, also, it's very important, two other things, is the mention by Commissioner Bell about Human Trafficking Month, and that is extremely serious on my heart, and I hope that measures can be taken, because there's been a lot of people moving through America, and there's a lot of investigation that should be done over this very serious child issue, to speak for the children. Then I noticed something fascinating too. We had to thank you, commissioners, for having the movie on American Delivery, because my wife found this in the Inquirer, Sunday, July 21st, 2024, from Penn Medicine, an interesting article for the Department of Health, and it's about the cuffs. It's called "A Text Can Be a Lifeline for New Mothers," and they found it's really good, especially the first 10 days after birth, that mothers have a cuff, and they can notice if their blood levels and pressures and circulatory concerns are relayed to doctors, and they can get an early addressing of these symptoms. So I thank Commissioner Winder and Commissioner Akija, who was there, and I'm sure Commissioner Cabello was very interested in this because he helped with the brochures in the back table for parent infant resource guides. This is really important, and it does say there's some progress. After about 10 years, they found this to be really helpful, and it says that also in Philadelphia hospitals, including Thomas Jefferson University Hospital and Jefferson Einstein Philadelphia Hospital. So they've had a lot of participation with patients, about 10,000 patients, 18,000. So anyone going in for a delivery, for American deliveries to be really healthy, to really consider what hospitals offer, especially if you have a circulatory concern. So I think the commissioners can work with the Department of Health and have that notice go out. It'll be a really great step.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan.
Joe Rooney.
Hello again. Joe Rooney, still in Ardsley in Abington Township. A couple of quick things then. I guess this is the right time to commend Leanne Sierek again. So in Voter Services and her staff,
That's her, yeah, Mira leads
nice,
that team, so.
very nice to every experience that I've had and everybody else that I've seen. So I really appreciate the work that she and her staff have done.
Thank you for that.
So it's a little late after November. The second one, just about the court, the Alaska Highway was built in 8 months. That was 1,500 miles through the wilderness, over canyons and bridges and tunnels and everything else. And we're looking at the court finished maybe third quarter of 2028. So there's something that could be done, and I believe what we have is we have the excellence, the enemy of the good. It can be good enough and then fix it later. That's what they said when we built the railroad across the country. That's what Leland Stanford said. Build it now and we'll fix it later. So And you're going to be problems with rodents and insects in your green roof. Sorry to say that, and I doubt if it's green. The next one is, in our country right now, there's just unbelievable attacks on our law enforcement. And it's mostly coming in our Democrat-controlled areas, but I would just like to know in our county that our elected officials are supporting our law enforcement who go out every day to keep our communities, our state, and our country safe. They have often a thankless job, 100 times more thankless than a school director, and 1,000 times more dangerous. And if we have elected officials that are bad-mouthing our law enforcement on split-second decisions, and everybody wants to call one when they need them, and I would love to hear the three of you give a heartfelt and strong support to our law enforcement officers. And finally, one thing you forgot in in January is it's the one-year anniversary of President Trump's inauguration. So it's just been an unbelievable year. The border's shut down to illegal crossers. There are 2 million fewer illegal aliens in our country than a year
germane
ago.
to county
There
business?
is peace and
Mr. Rooney, Mr. Rooney, one moment, please. Public comment is for
You
matters
interrupted that
germane.
other man when he was doing something. This affects all of us. It's
Mr.
about
Rooney,
drugs,
understood.
it's about drugs, it's about safety.
And if you can talk about these matters in relation to local issues, these are the public comment is for things that may come before the board. And maybe germane to county business.
Drug enforcement and lives saved from drug overdoses is certainly important and affects all of us. Every life that's saved affects all of us. Donald Trump is the most pro-life president ever because of the drug stuff that he has done, because of the wars he has ended, because of the support he's given to babies in the womb and mothers. And I have a whole other list. I'll sure you're interested in it later. You should not be interrupting people when there's only 3 minutes and the meeting's already gone on for 2 hours. Everybody sits here and waits
Mr.
patiently.
Rooney, I've asked him to monitor public comment, right? I appreciate you coming and giving public comment. We're just trying to, for everybody, just make sure it's germane to county business. That's all we're asking. That's all we're asking. So he's doing what I've asked him to do,
Okay.
right, to support everybody. So
So we're all professional, but I've noticed an interruption of that gentleman when he wanted to talk. You interrupted me on the first one, and I was following the rules, and now I have the solicitor doing the same thing. It's intimidating.
I'm not going to debate with, I'm not trying to intimidate. I'm not debating.
I got 21 seconds.
Okay, I'll give you 21 seconds back. I'm simply saying to you, it's my job to ensure that there's order in this boardroom. And I just was simply telling you
I agree
that.
completely.
So that's my job. And I have a solicitor that is doing that as well. So go ahead and finish your comment. Can you give him 30
That's okay.
seconds back?
I don't
Go
need
ahead.
21 seconds.
Okay, go ahead.
I've noticed a level of intimidation, okay, towards commenters, and it doesn't affect me, but it does affect a lot of people. They don't want to get up and they don't want to get into an argument. Allow people to talk. You have a 3-minute limit, and then sit down. That's professional. Thank you.
Next public comment.
Carmina Taylor.
So to your point, gentlemen, I want to
Carmina, can you just tell them your
Oh,
location?
Carmina Taylor, Norristown. To your point, I want to publicly apologize to you for blurting out when you were speaking when I said for you to educate yourself about green roofing. So I blurted out, and I'm human. So I wrote on the sheet again to talk about civility. I just want to say that in listening to the first portion of this meeting, civility in this county belongs to you three. And how you project yourselves in the seat is so vitally important. And I really want to reiterate that because body language, not being attentive to speakers, whether you like them or not, is a negative projection. I'm trying to gather myself because I really, this is about the 6th or 7th time that I've done this. And it just disturbs me because what I wanted to say is that I was so exceptionally proud of what you're doing here in the county and how other people in other counties and other municipalities need to learn that. So in conjunction with that, I wanted to announce that on Saturday, I am leading a statewide effort with local leaders across the state and rural caucus leaders about the state of our communities. And I was just it's being led by Black mayors across the state to have conversations. And I don't know if you know, or maybe you do, but you have one Black mayor in Montgomery County. And I really hope that we can talk about how this county, with the mayor, can talk about the things that you're doing, because I think that it becomes an example. I have traveled across the state, as I've said numerous times, and everybody looks at Montgomery County as like, the premier county. Local law enforcement, low law enforcement offices outside the state or outside our county look at ours as like the highest paid law enforcement people. People want to come here. So I'm just sitting here just thinking again, what can we glean from your governance? What can we glean from your leadership? And the least we can do is be attentive to annoying speakers. Maybe I'm an annoying speaker, but sharing that respect publicly is important, even if it's for 2 hours twice a month. And respecting each other. You know, I've seen over time that there hasn't been positive body language and attentiveness when some of you speak and others don't listen. I'm not talking about you, Tom. So I'm just saying that at the end of the day, it's so vitally important for you guys to keep leading the way in leadership and governance. I want to forward you this information about this statewide initiative, and I want other Montgomery County residents to join. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up on Zoom, we have Christine.
Christine, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. My name is Christy Jamowski. I live in Royersford, PA, and I wanted to comment because I'm concerned about the number of data center proposals in our county that seem to be popping up all over so fast that community members don't always know about them. Personally, where I live, there have been 3 proposals for data centers within about 3 miles of my house in my neighborhood. 2 are in Chester County, so that is not under the Montgomery County purview. But if all 3 did go through, that would equal 4.7 million square feet of data center building space along the river. So 4.7 million. It's just incredibly large. So you may have seen on Tuesday that our township Limerick Board of Supervisors met and voted to send an opposition letter to the State Game Lands Commission to stop the land swap of Game Lands 234, which would result in half of the land being given to a private LLC, which would make it zoned industrial, which would almost certainly be proposed to be a hyperscale data center. The board is sending a letter of opposition after a huge turnout from the community, unanimously opposing losing their public state game lands and the idea of a data center coming in. If that swap does pass, though, that would total 4 data center proposals within 3 or so miles of my neighborhood and community. I don't want to be surrounded and living next to 4 data centers. And I don't think that other people would want that either. Communities all over the state are saying they do not want these data centers where they live. They are linked with significant public health outcomes, including cancer and chronic disease from water, air, ground, and noise pollution. So I guess my question for the commissioners is, do you have plans to work with neighboring counties and support municipalities to navigate this so the proposals aren't in the middle of residential areas and also so concentrated so close to each other? And also just if there can be something where impact studies are done to see the impact of the data centers, because once that land is gone, it's gone. Once the water and ground is polluted, it's done. You can't undo that. And also to assess how this will impact community members' electric bills, their water availability, and overall quality of life. Thank you.
Thank you. Is it Christine or Christy?
Christine. Yes.
Okay, just want to make sure I had that right. Listen, this has come up several times throughout Montgomery County. I know that our Planning Commission has been looking into it to help advise us in terms of how we can support municipalities and residents. One, from an educational standpoint, but 2, what should we be doing relative to data centers? So I want to just thank you for coming and raising that. You know, we may maybe look into doing something here in the future. So thank you for your comment. You have a comment?
Would you and market? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I just wanted to ask if that would be like promoted if community wanted to attend that meeting or give input.
So our chief sustainability officer is working on a forum. Is that a public forum or for municipal officials? Do you know? Okay, we're working on first at least educating municipal officials so that they understand and they can learn from each other, right? Because these are popping up everywhere. People don't know how to negotiate the best zoning policy for their community. So giving them the background so that they understand the impact, and ultimately it is up to the local officials in terms of whether the data center is going to be in a particular place or not. But what we can do as a county is help convene and educate so local officials are informed and the public is informed.
So more to come. Thank you for your comment. Okay. Like to announce, any closing commissioner comments?
I just want to make one comment. One of the public comments earlier talked about law enforcement, and I think I won't speak for everyone, but I'll speak for myself because I've said it numerous times that I'm a big supporter of all law enforcement. My father was a police officer. I stand with the police, and I will always stand with police. So I think that there's always a bad apple in the pile, and that's probably 1% of 99% of the police out there. And the 99% that are out there every day protecting us and being there for us should never be taken down because of one or two bad apples. We have a tremendous police force here in Montgomery County for all the different municipalities. They go to work day in and day out, and I always say the happiest sound for a family is when the sound of Velcro being opened up, and that is meaning when the police officer goes home and he's taking off his bulletproof vest. So I appreciate and stand with them all the time.
Thank you. Any comments?
Yeah, I'll just say, I think it goes without question that this entire board supports law enforcement, and that is shown through many, many different mechanisms, including, and most importantly, of how we fund our public safety apparatus. And I think there were some questions brought up about different tools related to straw purchase investigations. That's one of the ways that we support law enforcement doing their job, because they're keeping our whole community safe by making sure that illegal guns don't end up in the hands of people who are going to do harm or who are prohibited purchasers. So there are many ways that we continue to reaffirm our support for law enforcement, first and foremost through a very significant commitment in our budget every year that has only grown.
I guess since we're all commenting
Yeah.
on that, I would also, look, I grew up in a law enforcement family. I think you can support our local law enforcement officials, and I think this board, as Commissioner Makija has indicated, has shown by closed-door meetings with our police chiefs, by making investments in our budget, which is a reflection of our values. I think you can be for public safety and support our officers in uniform, but you can also care about your fellow neighbor. The two are not mutually exclusive. And so I think that's the balance that we should collectively strike, right? Like, I don't want anyone that puts on a uniform or wears a badge to be harmed in the line of duty. But I want to also ensure that our friends and neighbors feel safe when they encounter a law enforcement official. So we'll continue to do the work to support those that are keeping us safe and our families safe in Monco, but also supporting our friends and neighbors. So with that,
Sorry,
yeah,
just one.
go ahead.
Just different topic. We did vote to implement a contract for e-poll books, which, Frank, you're not going to speak in this meeting, right? Or are you?
No.
Okay. I'm not going to call on him, but we did pilots of these last year and the year before. Across the board, Democrat, Republican, Independent, all of the poll workers who work with these are just like, they can't wait to see them implemented across the county. And what they're going to do is they're going to make it easier for you to walk into your polling place quickly be identified as a registered voter in that precinct. This is like essentially an iPad, and it's a lockdown device. It's secure. There are many counties that use this, have implemented this, and it helps register you so you get the right ballot, and you cast your vote, and we can keep track of who voted. And there's a number of things we can talk about in a future election board meeting as well, but this is really a significant investment in our election operation across the board. It increases security and increases access. Pennsylvania, the legislature has said that they may implement a voter ID requirement. That's a whole other debate, but that's what the State House said last year. If that happens, these devices will make it easy to quickly scan an ID and get people through the line. So it's a way to make sure that if there are burdens being imposed on voters, which in general, I would like to see less of when people have a fundamental right. But if the state legislature is going to do that, we in Montgomery County are going to make it as easy as possible for people to adapt and ensure that they can exercise their rights. So that's a really great thing that we were able to pass today that I look forward to implementing by the primary election. Will be the first time we do that.
Great. Upcoming meeting dates, noting a change Tuesday, February 3rd at 10 a.m. in this boardroom. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the January 22nd, 2026, I got it right that time, meeting of the Montgomery County Board of Commissioners. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner DeBello. Any board comment? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Quick salary board meeting. Okay, first up is retirement of Juliana. Patty, come on up.
Thank you. It's good to see you again this afternoon. Yeah, I'm here for a very different reason. I'm here to speak about Juliana Guara. She's been at the Planning Commission, it says 40 years. It might be closer to 41 when we talked about it. When I came to the county in 2017, I had the honor of working with some very, very talented people, and that included some very, very talented designers. My background is design as well. And Juliana is one of those designers. We recently had to go through all the documents for ADA compliance, or start looking at them, and we have thousands, as I can attest to. And my feeling is that if you were to pick up one of those produced in the last 40 years, you have more than a 50% chance that Juliana had a hand in it. And quite honestly, we're known. I do a lot of my colleagues across the state as planners. Montgomery County, we are very proud of the idea that they really like the documents we produce. They come to us as oh, you did that document, I want to do something similar. And it's not only the content, but it's really the design as well. I mean, nobody's going to pick up something that doesn't look good. They're going to pick it up because they're attracted to it. And Juliana had a big hand in that. But I've known her for 40 years as well, because when I started, I was here once before, and in 1984, I think when she started, I was a graphic designer as well. So we got to work together. I was actually in a wedding of hers. So we've known each other for a very long time. And so it was just seemed like I was the right person to talk about her. And these are the few things I want to say, because I know, not trying to rush, but I know it's already the afternoon. So Juliana is very creative. When you want to be a graphic designer, she comes with new ideas. She's always open to new techniques. Is willing to collaborate with people on that. She's also very dedicated, though. I can always go to her and say, can you drop that and do this? And often it was because a commissioner reached out and said, hey, we need this today. And we can do that, and we do that. And she was always willing to do that and step up. And she's very dedicated to Montgomery County, as is evident by her 40 years of service. She's precise, though. And when I came back in 2017, she was the one to point out, no, this is how we have to do it. This is why we do it. We have a standard. Just as Megan was talking about the standards for the branding, those are things that we were keepers of as well. And she was one of those people. But she's also very kind. So she's a mentor. She not only teaches others, like maybe even another new graphic designer, but even our new planners that's come on, exactly kind of the roles of how they go about doing a plan for one of the communities they might be working in. And then lastly, she's funny and has a wicked sense of humor, so that will be missed around the office for sure. But I know for her next steps that she's going to have more time to spend with her cat and to do more singing, and of course, I'm sure there'll be some graphic design as well. So Juliana, thank you for your years of service.
Yeah, thank you. Juliana, I would like to invite you up to get a picture with us. Thank you. 40 years working at the county. You don't see that anymore. People jump from job to job. And really grateful for your dedication to working in the county all these years. So all the best on your retirement, and have fun doing, what's your cat's name? Jasper. Okay. I would love to be home with my pup, so enjoy that. Anyone else?
No,
Comments? Okay.
thank you for all your service.
Okay, come on up. Patty, you want to come in? Oh, come on. Yeah.
Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Of course.
All right. Right here. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations.
All the best. Thank you. Oh, there you go. That's exciting.
Which one to work all these years?
Oh, no. She's just going to travel. That's
Yeah.
great.
Didn't work all these years to make all this money,
I know.
not use it, so.
Yes, enjoy.
I'm going away.
Great, thank you. All right. Any public comment for salary board?
Yes, David Morgan.
Stephen Morgan Van Boer. I've noticed, as mentioned in the past, the new positions papers are on the table over there, and for those on Zoom, they probably don't have any idea what's going on with these videos. So we have a coroner bereavement coordinator. There's a salary for that. There's a district attorney YAP case manager. There's a redevelopment authority program administrator. These are new, so that means but they have to be budgeted. So I'd like to just have everyone be aware of the spending on these positions, and maybe they can be explained sometime, or maybe on the website. There's no names. It's just positions. So the public really is informed about the spending in this area, and it's accumulative, because I missed the first meeting of the month and I couldn't pick up a sheet. That'd be great just to have that information for the public. And I won't spend any time more, except we mentioned time, and we have 5:07 there, so if we could have the clock readjusted, that'd be great. Good. Keep looking at time. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Mr. Morgan. The bereavement coordinator is actually grant funded, and I think the youth aid panel, is that grant funded as well? So we could maybe find a way to indicate when we get grant funding for positions. Thanks. Next up, salary board list.
Good afternoon, members of the salary board. You should have in front of you the final copy of the salary board list. There's a 4-page document dated January 21st, 2026 with a timestamp of 8:45 a.m. All positions have been reviewed and accounted for your consideration.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to approve the January 20th. Why can I say it for me?
22nd.
22nd. 2026 salary board presentation as given by Mr. Anthony Brew, our Chief Human Resource Officer. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by First Deputy Landauer. Welcome. Sorry I didn't welcome you when you came. Any comments? Hearing none. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Great. Motion carries. Thank you. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the January 20. I swear.
January 22nd.
I'm going to practice this. Rather than reviewing my comments, I'm going to practice reading the date. Meeting of the Montgomery County Salary Board. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner DeBella. Any board comment? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. We're going to do retirement board right away.
Right here.
Okay, we can take a break. Let's take a break. Okay, all right. Thank you. Meeting adjourned. I couldn't say the 22nd.
Is that it?
I said it now, but I couldn't say it the whole.